Now let's talk parenting, and today we have the founder of Value-Added Parenting, Olabisi Oni, to talk about building healthy self-esteem in your child. This is a topic I find very interesting, and it's so good to have you in the studio with us today. All right, I'd like us to establish what self-esteem actually is when you talk about children, because in adults it's similar, but there are also some varieties in it as well. There's a way it varies. So I'd like you to tell us, when you say self-esteem in a child, what does that mean?
Okay, so what I mean by building self-esteem in your child is letting your child knows his or her values, who he or she is, all right, based on who God has created the child to be. It's not based on material things, those one comes after. But first of all, you need to build your child up in the innermost. So that whenever the child goes out, he wants to be bullied, he will know that I am created in God's image. And if you are talking down on me, it means you are talking down on God. That's actually how I put it to my children. That, in fact, you are the perfect image of God. So if somebody tells you your head is big, it means they are referring to God. So just laugh at the person and tell the person, it means you are talking back to God. Okay, so that's the most important one. Build your child's value. Let them have their confidence in themselves, no matter their body shape, no matter who they are, poor, rich, no matter the situation. Let them believe in themselves. So that's how I put it.
I feel like you've already started answering the question, because you've talked about value when it comes to building your child's self-esteem. What other suggestions do you have?
All right, so what I'm going to say is that for parents, you need to teach your child how to say no.
How to say no?
No, yes. That's most of the things we find difficult to say, even
I feel
adults.
like parents need to learn how to say no, first of all.
Yes,
but let's
in
talk
fact,
about
parenting is about the parents, not even the child. You, first of all, must find yourself, know who you are, then that's where you'll be able to raise the one that God has put in your care. So learning to say no, adults find it difficult to say no because of the fear of what people will say. Even we can see it during the election that's still going on. Some parents don't want their children to go out because they are afraid of unknown, what they don't know that's going to happen. Same thing we are transferring to our children, even in this generation, in this time as this. Okay, so teaching your child to say no is going to save your child from a lot of things, bullying from adults and children. And not only tell your child to say no to children alone, even adults, because we also have adults that are child abusers, and they are out there. They are in your family, they are in your church, they are in schools. Yes, part of the teachers. And this is going to happen if you allow yourself to be used. Because if you don't accept no, if you are not comfortable with your child telling you no, then there is no way the child will be able to stand up outside.
I'd like to digress just for a short while. How do you teach your child to say no?
Okay.
Because it's one thing to say no, but you know how, for example, your teacher, there's this thing about teachers and the child. It's a thin line between being rude to your teacher and being firm. And then, of course, there's this fear many children have of their teacher. Now, I'm using teacher because that's a position of authority, and we know how children can be when it comes to their teachers. So I'm just wondering, how do you teach your child to say no? Okay,
so involve your child in the affairs of the home. Okay, now, you are used to giving your child what to wear all the time. And here comes maybe one day the child said, Mom, I don't want to wear this. It means the child is growing. Allowing the child to choose what he wants to wear at that particular time is you accepting the child's opinion, suggestion. You are having things to go on. Things have always been going on in your own way. But this time, the child said, no, Mommy, please. I'm a parent, so it happens to me all the time. Mommy, please, I don't want to wear this sandal. This is what I want to wear. Allowing the child to have his way at that particular time is you teaching the child that saying no sometimes is acceptable and it's okay.
But of course, it's important to also know when to tell that child, no, you can't wear it. It's raining, you can't wear the white sneakers. Now, let's get back to building your child's self-esteem. So we've talked about value. We've talked about knowing how to say no. What else do you have?
Listening to your child, paying attention to your child. Most of the time, because you are tired, you've gone to work, you are back, the child wants to tell you things that's gone wrong while in school. You're like, you talk too much. And children are different. You need to know your child's temperament. Some prefer to say it in the action ways because they prefer movement. But some, they are, we name them, some people are gentle, but you read it in their body language. Some, they are talkative. I have a son that he can talk from morning to night. Yes, he will explain everything to you. So if you have that kind of child, you can say you talk too much. You must give your child listening ear, pay attention to your child, and trust your child. Another thing is affirm your child. What do you say to your child every morning? Who is your child? If your child goes out and somebody wants to bully, how do your child stand up? You don't have to teach your child that he should fight back. It means you are raising a violent child, or you are teaching your child to also be a bully. But there is a way your child can actually stand up to a bully without raising his or her hands. Is you affirm your child every morning. Do you have words of affirmation your child speak to himself or herself at home? When your child wakes up in the morning, do you wake your child up with a slap, with a kick, or you say words who your child is? And then in your family also, what do you guys do? How do you bring up your, like, there is something called honor as a skill. How do you honor your child at home? How do you speak to your child? Do you speak to your child because she's a toddler or is a toddler? Or you speak to your child like you are talking to an adult? Like I tell the girl that stays with me, you talk with these children the way you talk to me, meaning honor. And same thing with my children, because she's a help in the house doesn't mean that you should talk to her anyhow. You talk to her the way you talk to me as well. So it is important that we build this in our children. Respect your child. That also will help your child to be able to build his or her self-esteem. And there is a saying in Yoruba, like what you garbage in is garbage out. Yes. What you do to your child at home is what your child will do outside. So when you respect your child, in fact, he's expecting the same thing from someone else outside. So when they speak low of that child, you'll be like, no, this is not me. You don't talk to me that way.
In fact, this is a conversation that I'm enjoying so much, and I wish it could just continue because I have so many questions for you. But at this point, we have to head over to the kitchen. But really, thank you so much for your time. Olabisi Oni, founder of Value Added Parenting.